Everyone, this is Joe Gentili from Left Tail Risk Advisors. So this video is specifically for who, foreign national couples that don't live in the United States but own property here. So let's assume that you are a couple who is not U.S. citizens and you live outside of the United States, but you own a home in the United States. Let's assume you own a condo in New York or a house in Miami that's worth $3 million. So if you were US citizens, then when one of you passes away, the value of that home passes to the other spouse estate tax free, right? There's an unlimited exception for assets that pass from one spouse to another. So even if your husband has $1 billion and he passes away, he could pass that along to his wife on death, estate tax free. And that's the case in a lot of jurisdictions aside from the United States. A lot of places besides the United States have this unlimited exemption between spouses. However, it's important to note, and this surprises a lot of people, so it's important to plan for this if this is the case for you. That unlimited exemption does not apply to foreign nationals that don't live in the United States but own property here. So to go back to that previous example, let's say you own a $3 million condo in New York. Husband and wife own it together, 50-50, equal owners. And again, husband passes away. So there will be estate taxes due in that scenario, and they're going to be due within 9 months of the death of the husband. So what would happen is that let's assume again that the condo is worth $3 million at the time he dies. $1.5 million of that is the wife's property, so that will not have an estate tax on it. But $1.5 million of it, which is the husband's share of the property, will be subjected to estate taxes. And in the United States, for US taxpayers, there's very generous exemptions for how much money can pass before an estate tax is due, but that's not available to folks that are foreign residents, foreign nationals, and foreign residents in the United States. They only get a $60,000 exemption. So you'd have that $1.5 million worth of property in this example, and you'd apply that $60,000 exemption, and then so estate taxes would be due on $1,440,000. And the federal estate taxes are 40% of that. And then depending on where the property is, so for instance, if it's in New York, there could be additional taxes on top of that. That's a large amount of cash that folks have to come up with on the death of the first spouse, which catches a lot of people by surprise. There is planning that you can do prior to buying the property, which can help ameliorate this through buying it through a foreign corporation or a foreign trust. But assuming that you already own the property, there are planning options too. The most popular one, probably the most effective one in that scenario, is going to be life insurance, where the couple buys life insurance on their lives. And so, yes, they're still going to have to pay the estate tax, but really what they're doing by purchasing life insurance is they're taking an asset in the United States that's treated very favorably tax-wise for foreign nationals, because when life insurance pays out, there's no tax, there's no income tax on that, and there's no estate tax as well. So what you're effectively doing by life insurance is you're prepaying the estate tax that's due in the form of life insurance premiums at a significant tax advantage discount. And so that's why it's a popular tool for people to use in this scenario, because yes, they're still going to be responsible for paying money, but they could handle it through a less expensive tax advantage life insurance policy rather than paying the tax directly. And also, in addition to paying at a discount, it's also having the liquidity at the right time. There's a lot of folks that have assets, plenty of assets in the United States, but if those assets are tied up in real estate or in businesses, and they may not want to sell them upon the death of the first spouse in order to free up cash to pay the estate tax. So life insurance is a great way to make sure that you have the cash when you need it, so you're not forced to sell other assets in a hurry when the time may not be right to sell it. So this is it's a complicated topic. There's a lot of ins and outs with estate taxes for foreign national couples. So if you have any questions on this, please feel free to reach out. And if you found this video useful, I encourage you to subscribe for future ones. Thanks.